So that is the foyer video wall. So from the foyer onto floor 3 and straight into the Britain. So this is the what I would like to have the premium sponsors in. So this is the expo space. And then those doors there leading into plenary and the other expo space. So you can see how close it is together. And there is a PA in situ. Nice daylight and obviously a lovely view outside. Main exhibition hall. You've got the flags outside, and then down there is where the canopy would be, which you can see from the front of the building. Of the premium sponsors, obviously looking to fit them in between each of these pillars, which would perfectly fit up to 6 meters 3 by 6. So you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 there. We could do catering points along this wall here. There's the doors coming in from the main plenary, and on this wall here you also have coffee and tea stations that can go either end. And the idea for HPE would be slap bang in the middle of this space here, which is huge and a real premium place for them. We could obviously fit more than 5 or 6 because I know that all the exhibition stands aren't going to be that big, but just to give you an idea of what you could do and the reason why I think it's the best for the premium sponsors. For further branding, there are railings that you can hang from, so you can see they're above each of the spaces for the premium sponsors, and they also run through the whole of the main exhibition hall as well, so you can hang what you want up there. Probably not the diagonal ones, but there's about 6 altogether running through, and then 1 each for the premium sponsors. So there's also hooks that you can hang from as well, and they are in between each of the columns where the premium sponsors will go. So depending on the height of the stands as well, you can put vinyl up on the windows, so that it doesn't obscure the view too much, but it all depends on the height of the exhibition stands. So on the side of the expo hall you also have small room which is about 10 capacity, which we could use for whatever we feel fit, organiser's office, etc. Other side of the exhibition hall there is another room here which could probably be used as a sort of organised office just for sponsors, so any sponsor questions that they have can sort of speak to a member of staff that's here, and then there's storage as well, so it'd be good use, and it's included in the hire. So walking up through the last room that I just showed, there is, what's the name of here again?
This is
Guild room, which I was thinking could be used for staff, maybe for their little sort of eating breaks. I think it's about 50 packs theatre style, so it would definitely do 25 staff for their catering. Just an idea. So we're now going to do the walk from the lifts into the plenary. Obviously this is Britain where we were before, literally just around the corner to the right, through the doors. It's literally about 10 metres, and then straight into Fleming, which is obviously the main plenary. That is the walk, that is literally the distance that guests have to walk from the main plenary session into the expo. And then next door to that is the other area which we're going to have for sponsors, which I think should be for the lower tier sponsors. So yes, they're interconnecting, but you can see the short walk into the other space. So what we've been discussing is the actual layout for the main plenary session. So as you come through the doors, it's kind of a hexagonal shape. I don't know if that's picking that up on the camera, but you could either have it facing this way. So when you come in, the chairs are sort of set up in lines across the room. The problem with that is you can only have one screen on the stage, or you have it this way. So the stage would essentially be there. You can then have two screens, 16 by 9, which I think is what we should do. And then you're looking at a 780 theatre style maximum capacity. I think that's definitely the best way. If we do it this way, you've only got one screen, 16 by 9, and you're going to lose about 100 potential delegates seating. This way will also be rear projection. Another question that we need to answer, we're at the back of the plenary hall now. When these walls are pulled across, which is obviously what's going to happen, separating that from the expo space, these concertina doors do not have smaller doors inside, so this will be blocked off. So the way the delegates will have to get in is either going through those doors and coming out back through those doors, or out of the main doors from the plenary back in to the other room via the other doors. So it's just working out the best way to do that via signage, of which we've got lots of options where we can put the signage, but we're going to have to make it very clear that there is food and beverage, lunch, etc. breakouts in this space, because there are not smaller doors within the bigger walls that are pulled over. So what I'm very excited about, so we would basically be at the moment just by the stage. So this is going to be behind the stage, so you wouldn't see this door. But essentially you go through the door and you go into the green room. So the green room would actually be behind the stage directly. So all they've got to do is walk through that door and they are out by the stage, which I think is perfect. So we are now in Whittle, which is where we're looking at having the bronze/silver sponsors. So as you can see, kind of hexagonal almost, adjacent to the main plenary. I think this needs some work in terms of branding and sort of zhuzhing up. So again, you've got the rigging sort of poles at the top, which we can hang things from. There is a AV booth there, but we won't be using that obviously for this room. But yeah, so I think we need to look at beautifying this room a little bit more. There's the AV booth that actually works for the main plenary space. But we do need to look at how sponsors can make this look prettier, and perhaps how we can add some extra IT Rev, DevOps Enterprise branding. But it's a great space. It just doesn't have the light that we want. So I still think that the other room is better for premium sponsors. Okay, so I don't know if you can see it or not, but we actually have a drop-down screen. So we're still in Whittle at the moment. So that's a drop-down screen there, which can be projected on via the AV, which is over there, which I showed you a minute ago. So there's some options there. We could either have a live feed from the main plenary sessions, keynote speakers for the sponsors to have a look at, but I'm not sure which value is in that. But what we could also have is live Twitter wall. We could have other branding options on their videos from previous events, whatever you want. But that is there, which I think we should definitely use, because that's going to add to the room as well. So final one for the Whittle, just talking about sponsor spaces. So we're thinking that perhaps we could fit up to 15 3x3 sponsors in here, and then on the sides of the room, and then perhaps have the catering coming down the middle. That way it's going to give good footfall for everyone, and you can still have a couple of hundred people in here quite easily with that configuration. So I'm just in the space between main plenary, Fleming and Whittle, just to show that there's the two screens there, so you can obviously then have signage to say what is in which area, and we can maybe do some easel signage as well, human signage, etc., for when people are coming out from the plenary and trying to get them into Whittle, to make sure the sponsors in there have lots of footfall. But as you can see, the natural way that I would walk would be to come out of the plenary and walk straight into Britain, which is where we're going to have the premium sponsors. Okay, tourist time. We are now in St James, so we've just walked, we've gone into the lift from 3rd floor up to 4th, gone straight into St James. This is the, are we in Westminster? Sorry, Westminster, St James after. So we're in Westminster now, which has obviously got beautiful views, and this is going to be one of our main track rooms, and it's essentially at the moment been set up on a round table configuration, but this is the set that you actually have built in situ already, so that's included in the price. It's obviously got the lectern and everything as well, so it's been pulled forward quite a lot, so you can go further back. Theatre style seating, I can't remember, I think it's around 180 something theatre style. But yes, so this is kind of everything that you'd have included in the package already. Stage wash, etc., I believe is all included. We can obviously then brand the main stage to make it look much more pretty, and with branded colours and all that kind of stuff. So yes, this is the Westminster room. So I've just walked straight from Westminster, and on the same floor I'm just going through to Wordsworth Room, which is one of our syndicate rooms that we've put aside. I think we should definitely use this one because it's got some nice daylight looking out onto the courtyard. The proximity to Westminster and St James is great as well. So I know we're not going to use all of the rooms that we've put on the contract, but I think we should probably use this one. It's obviously got the projector there as well if we need it. Not sure what we'd use it for, but I think it's a good room to potentially use. So just walked down from Westminster into St James, which is slightly bigger. So Westminster, sorry, is about 140, I think, and then this is about 40 packs more. Again, same in situ stage setup, projector, everything there. Lectern, we just need to brand it how we feel accordingly, and then maybe in the same sort of vein as Westminster, and just keep that as a very sort of similar extra track. So 5th floor, Hawkin, absolutely beautiful views, not a massive room, set up in boardroom style at the moment. I mean, there's literally views over the House of Parliament and stuff up here. What did we say in terms of capacity for?
25 theatre.
25 theatre. So I don't know. We need to find a use for this room, even if it's for delivery team or press or speakers or something. It's not the easiest room to get to in terms of where we are down in the main plenary session in the expo hall. But I think even if it's just a come and chill out and take a deep breath room, it has to be used for something. It's already in the package that's been quoted. So yeah, let's talk about this one. And now we are in Darwin, which is next to Hawkin Room, which is slightly bigger, longer, and again has all the beautiful views. Again, we don't really have a use for it, but I think we should definitely use it, even if it's for staff or VIPs or something like that, only because of its lack of proximity to the main 3rd floor setup. Otherwise, it would be great for a number of uses, but again, let's discuss. So this is the Darwin Room. So again, on the 5th floor, we're now in the Windsor. So again, you've got all the natural daylight, etc., all the nice views. The stage will be set up here. So this is the 3rd track room, obviously. You can see that it's linked to next door, which is the Cambridge, which we'll go into in a minute. So that's where the stage would be, and it will be, I guess, front projection. Yeah, that's already on the rig there. And it's a relatively big room, as you know, on the capacity chart. And then just to give you some context, there's the wall that would be closed. And then we're going into Cambridge, which we're going to figure out how to do the RC Expert. Lots and lots of room in here. So it's actually probably more about doing it in a way which makes the room not look too big. And we shall figure that out, but I'm actually thinking off the top of my head to use one of the spaces in between the column sets, for instance here, for a U-shape or something like that will work really well, and fill the room out. And there's the lift as well. So what's just been raised to my attention is here are the stairs going up to the Mountbatten. You have to come through this space. So we are now currently in the Windsor, Cambridge, Cambridge. Too many rooms. And we're now in the Cambridge, which is where we're looking at doing our RC Expert. So you do have to walk through the room to get to the Mountbatten up those stairs. So as long as a little bit of footfall, I don't know how long you want the I've forgotten the name of it now, RC Expert session to go on for, whether it's, you know, the length of one of the breakout tracks or whether it's going to go over the length of 2 or whatever. If you're going to run it the same as the other tracks and there's breaks, then I think that's fine. If people are going up and down the stairs from and to Mountbatten. If it's going to be running longer, then we just got to think about that footfall coming through, where the background noise is going to be an issue. Okay, so I'm getting knackered now, so we're going up the stairs to Mountbatten, which has just been fully refurbed. So we're on floor 6. So again, my favourite view of everywhere up here. So this is obviously where we're going to do our other session, digital signage, and then the Mountbatten. So correct me if I'm wrong, this is what will be in situ here.
Yes.
So we've got the stage set up already, front projection, space for 300 and something, theatre style, nice big room.
Up to 410.
Up to 410. So again, we can just beautify this room a little bit, work on the set design. The stage is already there, and you've got all the beautiful views and everything as well.
Wall across here.
So there will be a wall that will separate, which will go across here, as you can see running across, just to give it that soundproofing from the open spaces down on floor 5.